The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
This episode is brought to you by Vargosh Records and Cave Dweller Productions. My name is Justin, and you're listening to the Thrown to the Abyss Cave Dweller Music Joint podcast called Thrown to the Cave. This is the January edition. I'm joined by Cave Dweller founder James Sweetlove and admin Brendan Smith. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing great.
Good to have you on the show. Good to be on your show.
Yeah. A joint endeavor. Just don't smoke it.
It's always a great time.
So, any cool clients you're working with for Cave Dweller Productions, James?
Yeah, I got some interesting stuff. So there's some that I'm just doing PR for because it's a little bit, I should say just doing press kits for, it's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse with contacts. But I'm working on a dual release for a pretty cool label. Won't say anything yet until it's done, but it's basically super experimental noise rock stuff, double album. So that's fun. Going to be putting out another album for the Mountain King, which I'll be announcing sometime either this week or next week through Cursed Monk Records. And what else? I've actually got two coming out soon. We have Slog with Nick and Jared, the Death Doom album that comes out on the 13th. Absolutely awesome, like funeral doom, death doom stuff worth checking out. And then I'm also working on make sure I say this correctly because it's a hard one to pronounce, but Apocalypse Stasis. I hope that's correct, but they're basically black and brutal death metal.
Nice.
It's a solo project. It's kind of like hard to explain. They sound like the vocals are kind of like Immolation to some extent, which is really cool.
Right.
But then like just ton of other stuff mixed in there, like black metal influences. Brutal death metal stuff. So yeah, worth checking that one out. The album is called The Consecratory Secretion.
Nice. You know, when you say secretion, that reminds me of one time I was in Texas on tour, and we were in a bar, and there were so many shots called alien secretions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like green shots. It was fucking awesome, and it was like this happy hour where you could get like Sprite and vodka mix for like $3. I was fucked up.
I saw this shot the other day that was like, I think it was like vodka, and then it had Tabasco, like a little dash of like black pepper, and then it had like a mayonnaise worm in it, and they called it like a tapeworm or something like that. It's like,
what the fuck?
Oh, it looks so nasty, dude.
What's the nastiest names you've heard from just all your brewery shit?
I don't know. Well, I mean, like, there's a brewery, I think it's in Kentucky, actually. They had a beer called the Brown Note, and Against the Grain Brewing, and the picture on their can was like this like cartoonized like dude and is in whitey tighties, but he's got like tattoos all over him, but he's got like a brown stain, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got a shit stain, you know, and it's just like, and the beer is called the Brown Note, and you're just like, so like, it's like so bad, but it's so good, you know?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I'll send you that picture or whatever. Like I'm sure I can find the can, but the beer was good. It was just they had an IPA called like Citra Ass Down, and then it's good stuff. I mean, yeah, they get a good job, good branding, all that. But I sure it's gross. I think that's the one, the Brown Note.
There was this night that I was at this house party. I don't know how old I was, pretty young, like in my teen years still, and we was drinking with this Fijian dude. And he told me him and his friends have this challenge called the Flying Fijian, which is it was spiced rum mixed with Tabasco sauce. It was like a 50-50 split in the shot glass. Oof. And basically the challenge was who could do more of those in a row without quitting.
Getting an ulcer?
Yeah. I was drunk enough that I took him on. And I regretted it the next day very much. I think I made it through like 6 or 7 shots of it.
Well, if they're half shots, I mean, they're still, but I mean, oh man.
Yeah, I regretted
Yeah.
it.
You guys
But when
ever-
you're drunk, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, but then all the spice and Tabasco, like vinegar and all whatever you've been drinking.
you guys ever do Irish car bombs before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
that's
done
this is
a couple
good.
variations of those. I think there's like I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was like Coors Light and like rum or something like that. And
What?
it tasted like a Dr. Pepper or some weird shit. And like
That is weird.
yeah, I think that's what it was. I could be totally wrong. Someone can school me out this. But like yeah, that one was a neat one. It was the same style though.
Yeah.
Just drop it in and go for it.
Yeah,
What are
'cause
your
like,
thoughts? What are your thoughts on Boilermakers?
I don't think
That's
I
just
would
a
know that.
shot in a beer, right?
It's a shot of whiskey in a beer. You drop it in. Have you tried that? Do you like that? Some people love it. I'm not the biggest fan of it personally.
I don't like beer.
It
I'm a whiskey
depends
guy.
on the beer, I guess.
I like whiskey, beer, and tequila. Those are my 3. Like I'll drink scotch, tequila, or beer.
See-
I'm not a huge fan of scotch. I'd like a little tequila here and there, maybe. But I like whiskey and bourbon.
I'll clarify here. Like, obviously, Irish car bomb is beer with liquor, but I think just having that Guinness and that cream taste, it kind of just gets that yeasty. I just don't like that yeasty taste. That's why I don't like beer that much. I always just go to the whiskey, good old whiskey.
I like whiskey. I think you get some more whiskey.
I need a drink, but I don't have anything. Drink it all at Christmas time.
This is the mixology episode of Cave Dweller Music and Vargas podcast.
I haven't had a drink all year,
Wow.
and that's partly due to because I had COVID.
Oh
So-
yeah.
I can't.
How was
I
your
was like,
say the
experience?
same.
How was
I
your
was like-
experience?
It was rather shitty. I basically I got it was like Christmas weekend, right? And then come Monday I go to work, and then Tuesday I'm like, hey, you know what? I feel like I might be getting a sinus infection or something weird. So I wake up Wednesday and I'm like, oh man, this is not going away, but I don't feel bad, whatever. So I go to work, and then by the end of the day I was like, I kind of feel like shit. This sucks. And I took a COVID test, and I'm like, all right, oh, I'm it's positive. And I was like, there's no way I got COVID. What? How did I do? Like, how? So then I took another test, different brand, and then it was positive. So then I ended up feeling like shit for like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I missed New Year's. And then Monday I started feeling a little bit better, energy coming back. And then basically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I just kind of wrote out the rest of it. And then end of Thursday, Friday, I was pretty much better.
Okay, well, it's not bad.
Yeah.
No,
it was
I got-
9 days I was sick, longer than a standard cold. It was just all in my nasal, it sucked.
Yeah, it was like I got fucked in the ass by COVID last year because March, right around when Out of Mouth of Graves came out, I was sick for a month because COVID turned into bronchitis. It was awful.
That sucks. Yeah, I was just basically, for 9 days straight, I had Dayquil, and then at nighttime drank NyQuil, and then used that to help me go to sleep. And then like I said, the first couple 4 days after my first signs and symptoms or whatever, I was laid out. I was so tired. I just felt tired and cold, and then couldn't breathe through my nose because it was so congested.
Yeah.
So I'm the only one who hasn't had it yet.
Yeah, it was my first time too. I went this whole time until I was like, oh, come on, man. And then literally the last week of the year, I got fucking nailed.
I was
You know what?
sure you and I were going to get it at Maryland Death Fest.
I thought so. I mean, I know it could have been a possibility because we were there, but
Ton.
when we didn't wear masks, but we were
No.
also I don't know. we were around a lot of not millions of people. I felt like it was millions of people. But it was like we were around like hundreds of people, and we managed to like not be assholes. So
didn't get anyone to spit in our mouths.
No, just each other.
Oh God, remember that fucking video that y'all sent me of that guy that kept like? Can you tell the listeners like what happened?
The dude that got knocked out. First night we saw him, we're like, man, that guy is like, something's gonna happen to that dude. He is just too drunk for something not to happen to him. And he was just like in the pit, falling over people, knocking people over. Like he was spent like a third of the pit on his back, basically.
Yeah, and, dude, he would like get up and then like, and then he would bounce up like nothing had happened, and then he'd like rub his face like freaking Popeye the Sailor Man going nuts, and then be like, and then like fucking start whelping people, and like just
he was like, old too. He was like in his, I want to say late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, I'd say mid 50s. Like
mid 50s.
Nonetheless, like he was acting like an asshole.
So we met him the next day, and we're like, dude, you were having a good time in the pit. He's like, oh shit, did you see me last night? We're like, everyone saw you last night, dude. And then he's like, yeah, I had a few too many. I was like, yeah, that's an understatement. Later that day we saw him in the pit, and the bouncer was like screaming at him. I mean, like, if you crowd surf one more time, I'm evicting you from the venue. And he did anyway. And the bouncer just, I guess, let it slide. And then we didn't see him again that night. But then the final night of Maryland Death Fest, we were like watching the pit from above because we snuck up to this balcony.
Really cool.
We weren't actually meant to be there. We didn't actually pay, I don't think, for that.
We didn't, but we just like walked in like we owned the place.
Maryland Death Fest, come and get you.
Yes. And we were looking down, and I was like, dude, it's the guy. And we see him, and he's like even drunker than the first night.
What the fuck?
And like he's like barely standing up. So I start filming him because like, he's going to go down hard.
Yeah.
And I just happened to catch him getting knocked out, like punch to the face.
Oh,
it was an accident.
It was an
accident
too.
Yeah. Totally an accident. He just like fell forward into the dude's fist while the guy was like spinning around, and then he got knocked out cold, like face down on the concrete, not moving.
And everybody opened up the pit, like they all stopped moshing.
Security came in like speed of light and grabbed the dude who knocked him out, like by the throat.
He was fighting, but he wasn't though. Like, and then like they figured that out after, but nonetheless, like they all stopped. They didn't stop playing music. But like they did, like they're like, oh wait, somebody's hurt. They did stop. But like they're like, well, like, get him up, blah blah blah. And then
I think it was during Exhorder. That was the band, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was Exhorder or Pungent Stench.
No, that was Pungent Stench was the very first. The second night. It was Exhorder because they announced that Pat O'Brien from Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, you're right.
The new guitarist as a surprise.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. I forgot about that.
You're right. It was that set. And man, he went down like a sack of bricks, and totally by accident.
Yeah. But then we went to like the best show of the the most entertaining show of the whole festival and saw Birdflesh.
Yeah. Unknowns to me, I didn't know. And I was like, I went to go find their vinyl after the set, and they were already packed up and gone. I was like, no, if I would have known, like I didn't know Birdflesh until I saw them. But
I feel like there might be one of those bands that's like really good live, but I don't know how they translate to not live, like listening to it on like a CD or vinyl. Because
it's like the party grindcore.
Yeah, it's party grindcore. The energy was the best part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, definitely like one of the best live sets. Like they had hype men throwing inflatable pool toys and sex dolls and trash cans and like all kinds of like,
people were crowd surfing in chicken suits
and chickens, cows. I think like there was like Jesus was like floating around in there. Like there was a ton of. It was fucking awesome. Great vibe. Great.
Man, I remember playing. Okay, so like when I was in a tech death band, we played with like some hardcore bands one time, and like they picked up a trash can that was full of trash and was just throwing it across the room at people, and they just kept throwing it back and forth. It was so goddamn funny. trash
that's what
can
happened.
core.
That's what one
this
dude
one
did.
wasn't
So
full though. That was just an empty trash.
This was at a fucking dive bar too. This was not a hardcore venue. They just
that's funny.
completely destroyed this fucking venue. And the venue fucking made like a public statement the next day and banned all these bands that participated in it.
Oh, by the way, Brendan, did you know that in 29 days they're announcing the first lineup announcement for MDF 24?
Yeah, I have their thing on, like, I've like favorited the Maryland Death Festival page. So
yeah, I keep a track of it as well.
Yeah, I'm excited. The second that like the tickets go on sale, I'm buying myself a set.
Well, the early bird goes up that day in February.
Oh, so then that day I'm doing it. We're going for it. Boom. I have the green light. So
I think that's what they said. I think they said they're doing early bird, like a limited batch run of early bird tickets the day they announced the first lineup announcement.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna do I'm gonna get a VIP ticket for myself all weekend long.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
So I'm gonna do like a little bit of Vargas news, and then we'll go on some little trivia questions for you guys.
Okay.
Oh boy, I'm terrible.
Yeah. All right. So Early's Confined, death metal band from Spain, January 3rd. It's like Suffocation, Cannibal Corpse, all that good shit. You can get it up on VargasRecords.com on CD. And then January 31st, a reissued Debauchery, Cranial Indulgence. It's old school death metal from 1993. It was originally released on cassette tape, but now it's on CD. These guys were originally formed in 1989. So death metal history. Badass. All right, so question time.
Ready.
This one will start with James first.
Oh boy.
We've already kind of talked about this before, James. I already kind of know the answer.
Okay.
If you could start your own band, what instrument would you play and what style?
It would be bass.
Yep.
And it would be like I'd have two options. It would either be like old school 90s style death metal with that like thick, disgusting bass tone.
Yeah.
Or it would be like that 90s noise rock stuff that has like the super industrial type of bass, like the super punky, high energy bass stuff that's high in the mix.
Yeah, I could definitely see you doing that. I know you love that shit.
I do.
I'm actually surprised by the death metal answer. I didn't know you like death metal that much. Thought you were more like a doom guy or something.
No, way more death metal. I have a playlist of 436 songs or something. The first death metal that I listen to like almost every day.
Okay, so that must have been like possibly why you got excited to partner up with me.
Definitely. Like I've always been like, if you ask any of my friends, I've always been like the death metal guy. I listen to like a lot of stuff, which is probably why like you think that I listen to. I don't know. I listen to a lot of stuff, but like OSDM specifically, like 90s death, like 80s and 90s death metal, and then like depressive suicidal black metal are like my top two like things to listen to overall.
Yeah, your taste is a lot more similar than I thought. Because on my own time, like I'm listening to death metal and black metal. That's like my main genres.
So I really like I listen to like a lot of 70s prog rock and like 60s psychedelic stuff as well. I really like way more like it's more than doom or stoner. I listen to a lot more psychedelic. Like I like psych rock a lot. That's like probably my third favorite. It's like death metal, black metal, then psych rock probably for me.
Hell yeah. What about you, Brennan? What instrument would you play and what style?
I feel like
you look like a drummer.
I feel like I would be like a drummer, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
you look like a
drummer or maybe bass guitar. I think, like, I feel like when I was in like school, like going to middle school and high school and whatnot, like my friends had drums and this and that. I'd always kind of just like beat around on them because I could keep like a simple beat, do that kind of fun stuff. But then I don't know, like I like bass because it's just like that fat, heavy sound, and it gets so groovy. And or like you can, bass is pretty sweet. And then I like banging around with a theremin. Those are fun. You know, I like kind of fun stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Bass is fun as fuck. Like it really is. Guitar is like more precision and you got to be very on point. But then again, a lot of my early Vola stuff was very noisy, so I just had fucking fun. I remember like half the sessions, I was drunk as fuck when I wrote that shit. But yeah, man, bass is fun. It really is. So, what style, Brennan?
I'd say like for bass, I think that like a nice like I like a cool fat like kind of jazzy kind of like maybe like not quite like jazzy kind of funk kind of.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then I always think about like Les Claypool or something. Not just like
yeah,
whapping around all silly crazy. And then I don't know, drums, like I like beats, you know what I mean? So it's like the first thing you like kind of go for, right? When like you're listening to music, yeah, like how's this catching you? What's the riff?
I could see you as a bassist in a stoner doom band.
Oh yeah.
He's the sludge guy though. That's like on our site. Brendan is known as the sludge guy.
Yeah,
okay.
I love sludge. Like unbeknownst to me, like I am a purveyor of sludge.
Okay, and that's the thing. The more we do these episodes, these Thrown to the Cave episodes, the more I'm going to learn about you guys. That's what's awesome about this shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I like something about like I love music fast. I like music slow. I like when it's both in one song. I like when it's like, you know what I mean? Or like, or when a band does like both styles too, like separately, like there's some, neat shit that's floating out there. And like, I like atmospheric stuff. I like stuff that's industrial style too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but yeah, I think playing some like stoner bass would be a lot of fun.
We're about to do the horror movie trivia.
Awesome.
But I'm gonna ask y'all any horror movies y'all seen recently?
So many. Watching so many movies lately. Yeah, I guess like one of the main ones I watched recently is Speak No Evil. If anyone's seen that, that's probably one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever seen. Just because it's like, for the most part of the movie, it's very realistic, like something that could happen to you very easily.
Yeah.
It's about this like Danish family that are on holiday in Italy, and they meet this family from where are they from? Netherlands, and they kind of hit it off. They each have a kid, like similar age type thing. And a couple like weeks or months later, they get this letter in the mail inviting them to stay at their place for the weekend. So they go there, and it just like gradually becomes weirder and weirder, and like more and more uncomfortable. Like the family is like weird as fuck, and like the kid doesn't have a tongue.
What the fuck?
And can't speak. They didn't realize. They thought he was just quiet when they first met him. And then like they're super abusive to the kid in front of them and stuff. And like
oh geez,
things like they all go out drinking and then have dinner, and then he makes them they're the guests, but he makes them pay the whole bill. And then he's like blasting music, drunk driving home and stuff. And it's like, just like tension, like just constant tension. And then it starts to like reach breaking point because they get drunk, and then they wake up and their daughter's asleep in their bed and they're naked next to her. Yeah, it's
what the fuck?
Super uncomfortable movie. But I can't say more than that without spoil. Like, there's a lot of twists. So I won't spoil anything, but definitely worth a watch.
You remember that time Jared was on, and he was like, "There's a twist." He was like, "Oh, you fucking already ruined it."
Yes.
Now I know there's a twist.
Here's the twist. There's no twist.
Yeah, you can just tell them there is a twist, and there is no twist. God, man.
That's exactly what you thought it was.
My mind is so skeptical, though. Like, I'll be like, oh, God, there's going to be this twist that happens. When you watch M. Night Shyamalan movies, there's a twist. There always is.
There has to be. He has a new one coming out, actually, with Batista in it, about some doomsday cult that thinks this one family controls the world's fate and like abducts them.
Oh,
I thought it was pronounced Batista, not Batista.
I have no idea. I could be completely wrong on that.
It's Batista.
Okay, there you go.
It sounded like you almost a statistic.
Is it data or data? I mean,
yeah. So I'm always late, like always, since I'm such a casual horror movie fan. But even though I'm not compared to most, normies, but I finally watched Hush for the first time.
Nice.
I thought that was a really good movie. Very smart slasher. Kind of reminded me of like when you play a video game and you fuck up and then reload your save. Because that one part where she was like, if I do this, then I'll die like this, or if I do this, I'll die like. I thought that was cool as fuck. I like that part. For people that didn't like catch this, in that movie, the book that she writes is Midnight Mass. That's the show.
Oh,
yeah.
That was a good show. That was the Netflix one about vampires.
Yeah, and she's in that fucking show too. She's a girl. She's a girl that's the atheist, I think.
The one that comes back to town or whatever.
Yeah, since that's Mike Flanagan. I think his name's Mike. It's a Flanagan. It's a Flanagan movie.
I think you're right.
I started watching Pinocchio.
Oh, how is that?
So, the problem is I didn't read any reviews or anything like that, and I'm watching it with my wife and my 7-year-old and my 4-year-old, and we're just like, and I'm like, when I'm watching a movie with them, and it's like I'm half in, half out, like my wife and I are like looking for a fireplace, and we're like, do we build it like this? Do we build it like that? So we're like looking at ideas. So like I'm half in and half out of the movie, and I look up at this part of the movie, and they freaking are giving them like the Hail Hitler sign, salute. And I'm just like, what the fuck was that? And like, I'm like, whoa. And so I was like, Liz, do you see that? And she's like, no, what? And so I rewind it, and she's just like, oh, hey, we're going to change this for a second here. Cause like literally the scene we were at, like they were like this, like basically Nazi was about to burn Pinocchio's like feet off and then like send him to a concentration camp, which they call school. Yeah, dude. And I'm just like, oh, my wife is like, I don't want the kids to learn about like Nazism like this. Like, let's like, we can figure out another way. Like, not now through Pinocchio.
That is so out of the blue.
Is that the one that's directed by Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah. So it takes place in Fascist Italy. And I mean, I would have watched that movie with my wife, but not with my kids. And I'm like thinking Pinocchio is a kid's movie, And I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, yeah, it was pretty dark. I really liked like how like he did like the the little spirit that comes in and like tells like the Pinocchio to be good for the guy, listen to that, blah blah blah, and like it's nuts. Like the kid, his child dies in the church struck by a bomb,
Oh, damn.
So then he makes like and he grows this tree at his son's like gravesite or whatever, and then ends up chopping it, making like down and making carving Pinocchio out of it. And then dude, oh my god, it's fucked. It's pretty dark.
That is.
I was like, are we like, this is like PG? It's rated PG. I was like, it should be, I don't know, not quite PG-13, but like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It was pretty dark for the 7-year-old to be watching. And, my second grade at least.
I didn't expect that because you were just like, we were talking about horror movies, and then you were like, I think Pinocchio, and I'm like, huh? And then you said, and then he said Heil Hitler, and I was like,
yeah.
What? So
dude, it was fucking nutty. I was like, I wasn't expecting it at all, and I'm just like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I mean, it being dark is okay, but like, I was just like, dude, like they watched like a bomb kill this kid's, this guy's kid. Then he like goes nuts and then does this thing, and then like the spirit that came in though, like they did like this cool job about it being creepy and like whatnot, but it was just like your whole job is just to bring this man joy. Like, this poor helpless man. Like, just bring him joy. Blah 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 blah. And then, yeah, man, as far as we got into it, basically, like we got into like the start of the nutty part, like, you know, where Pinocchio, you know, in the movies goes to the place where he turns into a donkey, you know, for being, you know what I mean? So like, that's like, yeah, instead of going to a concentration camp.
Are you gonna go back and watch the rest of it?
Yeah, I'm sure like we'll watch it. But I was just like, definitely, I was off put a little bit just because of like the kids and like the context and all that, you know.
Fucking hell.
It's fucking wild. I didn't expect it at all. I'm just like, what?
That reminds me of when I was in 9th grade. My teacher's like movie choices were very random. Like we went from watching like the 70s version of the Odyssey, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
And then we watched Harry Potter. And I don't really care about Harry Potter too much, but like when I read the second book, it made those movies better because like it just like filled so much part like details in or whatever that you just don't get from watching the movie. And then all of a sudden she selected that movie where the kid changes the prisoner clothes in Auschwitz, like the pajamas.
Boy with the striped pajamas.
Yeah, and she showed this scene where, you know, you get gassed in the gas chamber. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what am I watching, dude? Whatever.
Yeah. I remember watching like Soylent Green and things like that. Like my bio teacher, she was mad cool and she was like, check this out.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
It's like basically like I think it's based around now actually, which is kind of funny. And there's like basically no food left and blah blah blah. And there's this food that's mass produced and it's called Soylent Green and it's actually made out of people. Like people fall into it, this and that, no cares, this and that. And like people like, yeah, it's made out of people. And so Soylent Green. So basically, you know, you're just trying to avoid a situation like that. And, you know, she's like, that's why you gotta, you know, grow your own food and be a farmer and do these things and blah, 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 you know?
Yeah, damn. Hey, listen, that reminds me of that one episode of Twilight Zone, To Serve Man. You guys seen it?
Maybe.
Which one is it?
It's called To Serve Man.
What happens in it? They feed people to people.
Yeah. Well, no. Man, I don't want to spoil it. It's so goddamn good.
Is it a new thing? Is it a newer one, or is it like
no? It's one of the old. It's a class. It's a classic one.
I've seen a bunch of them. I can't say I've seen them all, but I've seen quite a few.
Oh, it's in my opinion that is the best Twilight Zone episode. That's a fucking great episode. That's actually the name of the first Calicapitation album, To Serve Man.
Huh.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yep. Very, very good shit. Y'all need to watch that episode. That's good.
I think I've seen a bunch of Twilight.
You remember
I've probably seen that one?
You remember a part where they're on the plane? Listeners, spoiler alert. Spoiler. I'm basically going to give you the synopsis then. Is these aliens come to the planet and they give them this book, and the book says to serve man. And they think, okay, these aliens are peaceful.
I've seen it, yes.
I'm just going to give the synopsis for people that don't care about the spoiler.
Okay.
But
go ahead.
They disarm every nation on the planet. They put up these like force fields or whatever, like so they can't nuke each other, and they make the entire world like a utopia. What these people don't realize is that they have turned the planet into a farm. They're trying to decode this book, and as the guy that's like transcribing this language, he gets on the plane. The girl's yelling at him, "Don't get on the plane."
Yes.
It's a cookbook.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a fucking.
So it has like you guys like eating all these like good foods and this and that and blah 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 blah. It's like Hannibal Lecter, but like on a planetary level.
Well, no, they're not feeding humanity to humanity. The aliens are taking people on these planes, and they're saying that it's like a vacation or something, and they don't realize that they're about to be eaten.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like Hannibal Lecter would like feed people like certain things so they would taste a certain way, you know. And it's like, so like that's like what they're doing, you know. They're like, here, make this utopia, eat all this kale.
Do you remember that Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode, making fun of that episode?
Oh,
I believe I do.
Where like it's the same thing, but they're actually wrong, and like they think they're trying to cook, like they think they're fattening them up to eat them, and they're actually like just being nice. And then they're like, because you didn't trust us, humanity will never like advance to the space age and drop them back off on Earth.
Yeah.
Because there's a book and it says like cooking humans, and they're like, see, they're gonna cook us, and then they like blow the dust off it and it says cooking for humans.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I can imagine that in Simpson animation where it's just like you see the like air out of his mouth go.
That reminds me of one of those Robot Chicken episodes, and Gargamel finally like catches the Smurfs.
Yes.
And he eats them up in his stew, and he's like, "Oh, it tastes like shit," and like orders Domino's instead.
I forgot about that show, dude. That show hasn't been around for a while, right?
I don't think. I mean, I don't watch TV in the norm like that, so I don't know. It could be around. I mean, if not, I'm sure there's a cache somewhere of all those episodes because that stuff was funny.
It was pretty funny.
Some of it was dumb, just like any other comedy, and you know, like
it's basically sketch comedy. And there's always a hit and miss with sketch comedy.
I like the one where like, you know, like this dude comes in and like it was like goes to the bathroom or whatever, and then comes back and he's like inside of like a donut store, and then like eats all like the donuts and this and that, and like he's like, I'm the face of millions. Oh my god, you know, he's just like an abomination. It's so funny. Food, killing all the donuts.
You guys remember this meme from Simpsons? That's like a metal version of it. It says, see my vest, morbid angel and possess. These patches are immortal, sepultura, death and portal. See anthrax across my back with and cancer bats, suffocation, immolation. The one here just says, "Hail Satan." a little docking on my pocket. Venom really lights my rocket. Primal fear over here. Men of war, I've had my share. See my vest, see my vest, see my vest.
That's hilarious.
That's fucking awesome. All right, trivia time. Let's see. Okay. Let's see who can win this. I've got a tiebreaker at the end too.
Okay.
All right, James. What eerie film is credited with coining the notorious phrase, "Do you like horror movies?"
It's a movie that used that phrase?
Yeah. In quotations. Do you like horror movies?
Man, I have to think. Hang on, give me 1 second.
I got it.
You know what it is?
I think.
No, we're not gonna. It's not. It can't go to Brendan.
Is it okay? Can I have a clue? Like what decade?
I'll say it. I won't say it the way he says it because it'll give it away immediately. Yeah, it's from the 90s.
The 90s.
James is gonna be like, "Can I get a lifeline?"
Is it?
If I'm right, I feel like
I think I know what it is. It's a slasher movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Scream?
Yep. You got it.
Hey, good.
1 point.
Dude, I haven't watched those movies in like a long ass time.
All right, 1 point for Gryffindor.
When they came out, I remember that.
All right. Next, Brennan. A synopsis below most accurately represents what horror film? In quotations, a research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien.
Come on.
The appearance of its victims.
Would that be The Thing?
Yep.
That was a good one.
All right. Now it's your turn, James.
Okay.
What was a 1953 horror film remade in 2005 with Paris Hilton in the lead role?
House of Wax.
Yep. What movie is based on a concept for an unproduced episode of the X-Files. My bad. It's a movie based on an unproduced episode of X-Files. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I try to make them easy at first, but then,
I
don't know this one.
I don't know either. I feel like it could be anything.
I'll give you a hint. Stuff happens, but there's no killer. It just happens.
Oh, okay. I know what it is if he doesn't. I think.
It just happens?
It just happens.
Oh, man.
There's no killer, but it just happens.
The Candyman? No. That's a movie. No, I don't know.
Can I guess before you tell us? Oh, okay. Final Destination. Okay. Really? That was an X-Files episode.
Yes, it was.
Or one that didn't air or whatever.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess The Happening.
Do you guys remember that one episode where there's Jack Black and he's at the arcade and like there's this guy getting struck by lightning?
The X-Files?
Yeah. You
remember that?
Towards the end of it. I don't remember that.
No, that was like season 3, like the golden era of that show.
Oh,
I must have missed that episode. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, Jack Black was on there.
Huh.
Pretty good.
I need to rewatch that show, actually.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
I was just watching this thing on the internet the other day on YouTube. There's this guy that does this little vlog about like strange phenomenons and horror and like just weird murders and things that happen, creepy stuff. And he did this whole thing about Litchfield County and or near Litchfield County and like Dudleytown, Connecticut. And I'm just like, wait, what? I've heard this, but why? I didn't think it was real. But then, there's like this whole like haunted forest, and like you can't go into it. It's like you just can't.
That's the one you sent me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
People were just like gone mad, like for no reason, like hearing things, doing this and that, breaking glass, doing all kinds of like screaming and yelling and hooting and hollering and just weird nuts, like weird shit, man.
Wait,
people
what?
like that were out there living in the town. Like this, it started out like a town, and then like this dude was like seeing shit in the woods, and then like they're like, okay, yeah, whatever, and then he like goes off into like the mental asylum or whatever, and then slowly more and more people just kept on going crazy and seeing these things, and like stuff was happening, and then eventually everyone just left the town, and then like this dude comes back like a while later and then builds a house on it. And then, he's asking everybody to like build a house on it. And everyone's like, nope, not doing it. I don't go up there, So he did it. And then like his wife ended up going crazy. And then, yeah, man.
Huh.
It's, in Connecticut. Probably like maybe an hour, 20-minute drive from here.
House on Haunted Hill.
I think that's it.
That was pretty good.
I think that's the movie, right? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, I thought I kind of spaced out because I was trying to reword a question for this trivia thing. And then I heard you talking about this. I was like, wait, this happened. Like, what? I'm gonna re-listen to this shit when I'm editing it, and I'm gonna go, I'm a fucking dumbass. Like I wasn't even listening. Okay. I got another one for you guys.
Okay. So it's back to me now?
Yeah, it's back to you, James.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Let me ask real quick. You got 2 and Brennan's got 1 so far. Is that correct? Just making sure.
I think so.
Okay.
Brennan's one was hard though, the second one. I did not know that.
Okay. What movie? Okay, for you, James. And what movie do they shoot a monster into space?
They shoot a monster into space from Earth.
It's a climatic scene. Very vague, I know.
It's very vague.
I'll give you a hint.
It's a horror movie, though?
Yes. It took place in the 70s.
Took place in the 70s or came out in the 70s?
Came out in the 70s. I'm a dummy.
Okay. I
think I got it. Maybe.
70s. No, I'm blanking. I probably do know it. I just can't think of it.
Alien,
yeah.
I had to give you.
Oh, I thought you said it was from Earth into space.
No, I said they shoot it into space. Like
they were already
very vague.
Space. but
They're already in
space.
space. I was thinking it was like shot. Okay, that was me. I just completely fucking misunderstood that. My bad.
No, you're fine.
It's all good. Go to Brendan. It's like one of my it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I feel like a fucking.
I love it. I bought the like the quadrilogy when it came out, and like I have it on like DVD. Like, yes, I love it, dude.
Same.
Great.
I have the special edition on DVD as well.
I remember it was like one of the first like movies that I watched that was like rated R when I was like a kid. Like that was like I was like, Mom, can I watch it? My friend down the street likes this movie and toys and blah 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 blah. And like his mom let him watch him, and I'm like, my mom's like, you know, it is what it is, you know. Like she's like, well, I'll watch him with you, you know. Like we were probably in like 5th, 6th grade, something like that. I feel like maybe 6th grade. You know, and we watched Alien, and then I watched Aliens, and then I was like, oh my god, this is great. And then I got in all like to like the figures that were coming out during that time, you know, and like it was just sweet. They were cool. Like I loved it. Like I walked by dumb toys in Target, and I'm just like, oh man, look at those xenomorphs. And my son's like, what's a xenomorph, you know? And I'm like, you'll find out one day, man. I don't think you can handle that right now.
Did you ever play the strategy game that was on like PS2 and Xbox?
You talking about Alien versus Predator?
It was but the strategy one where you build armies.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like an Alien.
That was the
versus
best.
Predator.
Yes,
it was the best.
Have that one.
You can play as like the humans, or the aliens, or the Predator.
Oh
race.
Man, that was so good.
I have this one called Alien Isolation,
and
that's good too.
You play as like Ripley's like daughter, I think, and then you're running around the ship with like barely anything, and you're like just basically like outwitting this xenomorph running around following you, you know, and like you can only hide from it for so long in certain spots and this and that, and like it's so like nerve-wracking, you know, and you're just like, yeah, dude, you just like hear it walking behind you. Like I'll play that game. Like I haven't played it in a while. I'm like halfway done, and I'll turn all the lights off and like just get into it, and like I freak myself out.
Dude, do you remember when Ripley came out of cryo sleep, and that officer in Aliens, the second movie, told her that she was in cryo sleep for 56 years, that her daughter died. That was a deleted scene. That was crazy, dude. So that game taking place in that timeline, and her meeting a xenomorph also, like that's fucked.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Definitely.
Did you guys watch Prometheus?
Yes.
What did you think?
Very good.
I thought it was good. I mean, it was definitely like, you know, you maybe expected more like crazy action and this and that, but it was more of like, I feel like
origin story.
Yeah. Just like a cool part of it, right? I feel like if they kept going with that, they could make like a really awesome, like really long series, you know, if they do it right, you know. Like
wait,
I thought
I saw something about that. I think they are making an Alien series. Hang on, I heard something. Might have been a rumor.
I thought Alien Covenant came after that, after Prometheus.
It did.
Yeah, so I figured.
Yes, they are making an Alien series. FX is making it.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Man.
It's so good.
Because Ridley Scott's got such a big pull with FX.
Well, he's making it, which is going to be sick.
Yeah, I mean, he should.
I enjoy the fact that, you know, he made the first movie, and then, you know, James Cameron put his spin on it, like James Cameron always does with everything. Fucking great director. But then, you know, Ridley Scott comes back and, you know, takes it back his, you know, property, his IP that he created, and is still trying to push it. I'm really happy for him. Really am.
Yeah. Like Predator stuff and all that, you know, like
apparently it's set 30 years before Ripley's story starts.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, and it's starring a dude. I actually don't know who this guy is. Noah Hawley.
Don't know who he is either.
Yeah, apparently he's the lead in it.
Yeah, I got more questions.
Okay, sorry, we're derailing it.
Get your noggin ready.
Brendan,
it's getting hard.
Brendan.
Yeah.
What film was A Quiet Place initially intended to be a sequel to? What film was A Quiet Place initially intended to be a sequel to?
That's the one where like they had like the whole town and like they had to like follow everything, like making no sounds, whatever.
Yep.
Yes.
Like Jim from The Office, right?
Yep.
Yes. John Krasinski.
I watched both those movies. But what was it supposed to be beforehand?
So basically, A Quiet Place was supposed to be a sequel of another IP, another horror movie IP. Believe that or not, that's a weird.
Well, it was like what, aliens and weird stuff like that.
A little bit more grounded. A little bit more grounded than that.
Right. Independence Day?
Close.
I'm just joking.
Well, it's close. I mean, it's the same premise. Close. I'll give you a hint. It's an alien invasion film.
War of the Worlds?
Not quite. I'll give you one more. This is a hard question. I know it's a hard question. I'll give James a second shot too on the next question.
Okay.
Alien invasion.
Yeah, I don't know this one either.
Like, I'm trying to think about alien invasion movies. Like, I have this one in my mind that I can't remember the name of it though.
It's got something to do with J.J. Abrams.
It's at the tip of my tongue there, like where they're like running around with the camcorder and like being like, "It's after me, it's after me."
See, say it. See if you can get it.
South Park made it fun of it too. Like Randy's running around, fucking. Oh man. I know what it's called. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. I think I'm right. I don't know. I could be wrong, but at least the movie.
All right, I'll go ahead and tell you. It's Cloverfield. Believe that shit.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because it looks very similar to those aliens. I never put the two together though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cloverfield. Wait, is that the one when they were all running around like?
It's first person camera one.
Yeah, right.
Found footage.
Have y'all seen?
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I'm thinking of. That's Cloverfield. Yeah.
Have you seen that Cloverfield Lane movie with John Goodman?
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was really good. I like that movie.
Where she's like trapped in the bunker with him.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Oh yeah, dude, that was fucking weird. That was a good movie.
He makes a good villain.
And it's fucked up because, like, he done something fucked up. He did a fucked up thing to that one girl that was there, but like, he actually did save her. Thinking about it, because she thought it was bullshit, but it actually was all fucking real. The aliens were real.
Right. And then I felt like there was another movie where I don't know I can't remember if it was him or not, but like this dude like basically has like a real bad day in traffic. I think it was John Goodman. I could be wrong. And then like he basically just like starts like going mad during traffic and then like following this girl. And,
no, that's Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
It's Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
It does have Russell Crowe.
He does have a John Goodman like
kind of vibe
personality,
there.
And that
movie. Well,
that's a good movie.
Yeah, I guess they play that similar kind of like just a fucked up villain. Yeah. That was a good job for him. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Well, you remember that scene where they were sitting in that bar and he like doesn't he kill him with like a fork or something?
The Russell Crowe one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. He stabs him with like yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
He just goes like crazy at the lady because she won't apologize to him for cutting him off.
Yeah, that's his like all he wanted was like just an apology or whatever, and then all of a sudden it was like. And
the daughter flips him off because she's in the car with her kid or something, and the daughter like.
And then he's just like, "You should have done that." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. She drops the kid off and then goes off on her day, and he's like following her to the gas station and shit. But that's a scary movie because it's something that could happen so easily as well.
James, which horror film's tagline is quotations? We dare you to say his name 5 times.
Candyman.
All right. There you go, James. All right. Next one. Brennan.
Yeah.
What iconic horror film was named the Baby City? God damn, fuck this up. Baby City. What the fuck? What iconic horror film was named The Babysitter Murders at one point? The Babysitter Murders.
Oh, I know this one.
Babysitter Murders.
Yeah. Movie came out in the 70s.
Babysitter.
What movie did a slasher kill babysitters?
There's a remake, if that helps.
No, it's not.
No, there's no remake of this one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, it's not what I'm thinking at all then.
It's what the original name was of the horror movie, but they changed it.
No, I mean, like, there's a remake of the movie that got renamed, right?
It's an iconic horror film. It's a slasher movie. It was called The Babysitter Murders, but then they changed the name.
Halloween?
Yep.
Yes.
Good job.
Oof.
That's what I meant. There's a remake because Rob Zombie did the remake of Halloween.
Gotcha. Yes.
And then in 2017 or something, they actually made a movie called The Babysitter Murders, which is like...
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, it wasn't Jason because he just killed camp kids.
So, James is 3, Brennan is 2. Now, I'm going to give Brennan another question to see if we can tie this thing up. If he doesn't get it, Brennan loses.
Dun, dun, dun.
What is the name of the clown in The Devil's Rejects? I know James knows this.
Yeah.
The name of the clown in The Devil's Rejects.
He's in House of a Thousand Corpses too.
I'll give you a hint. A part of the name is a military rank. For a naval officer.
Captain Captain Spaulding? Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
Don't be looking that shit up over there. I'll get you. All right. We're in overtime now.
Tiebreaker.
Captain or sheriff?
All
The
right.
sheriff isn't naval.
All right. Which real life serial? Okay, this is for James.
Okay.
If James don't get it right, but if Brandon gets it right, then there you go. All right. Which real life serial killer is indirectly based on Psycho?
Hang on. So the real person who killed people based his killings on the movie Psycho?
No.
You mean the other way around? So which serial killer is who? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me think. You're talking like the original one, the black and white one by
Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock. That came out. When did that come out? That was in the 60s or something, right?
Yep.
So there's a
hardcore metal band named after the guy.
Is it? I'm gonna go with
like
Ed Gein.
Yep. All right.
They need to make like a show or movie about him. There's not like enough about him.
All right, Brennan.
All right.
What is the Exorcist demon name?
Exorcist. I don't know that.
It's an actual deity, if that helps.
It's a deity.
If you don't get this right, James is gonna win this shit.
Mesopotamian deity, if that helps.
Mesopotamian. All I can think about is like Thanos. Dionysus.
Take a guess.
I'm gonna count to 10.
Baldur.
Nope.
Starts with a P.
What was it, James?
Pazuzu.
Yeah, James wins.
Pazuzu.
Aranzi Pazuzu. That's my favorite band. One of my favorite bands, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
God of the Wind Demons.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away. I want to win still.
I felt like that. I tossed you the bone with Ed Gein there.
What?
I said it was a band.
I didn't even know there's a band called Ed Gein.
Oh, all right. I'll send you some of their stuff.
Okay, thank you. I didn't even know that was a band.
Bonus question, just for shits and giggles for Brennan. What is the highest grossing Stephen King film adaptation to date?
Shining.
Shining? No. One more.
It's not The Shining?
Nope.
Then it would be, I don't know, I should think Pet Cemetery?
Nope. It's It.
It.
Clown,
Oh,
the
It.
clown.
I know.
2017 remake
Anyone
of It.
is- Yeah.
Yeah, the 2017 remake.
Yep. Everybody went all crazy. Then the memes came out.
Yes.
Like putting like, hey, there's a Taylor Swift concert down here.
All right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up now. That was
Yep.
pretty fun, guys.
Till next time. Next
Yeah.
time I can ask the questions and you guys can answer, and then Brendan
All right.
will take turns.
Ooh,
All right.
all right.
All right, that sounds good.
I'll think of some brain head scratches.
My name's Justin with Bargosh Records, James with K Dweller Music, and Brennan, the head brewer of K Dweller Music. We're signing off. Thank you for listening to Thrown to the Cave.